All right, good day to everybody. Our goal for this video is to talk about conclusion paragraphs and how to write them if you're in an exam environment, particularly for the 8th grade writing SOL. And if you're actually doing, writing over time, perhaps not in an exam format, this actually will be useful as well. So let's talk about conclusion paragraphs in general. Obviously, they're going to be the last paragraph of an essay. It includes a restated thesis and a challenge to your reader, and it absolutely contains no new information. If you get down to that conclusion paragraph and you are itching to talk about something new, to provide maybe another example or another thought on your topic or your position, you need to go back and add another body paragraph, because we never add new information in a conclusion. It's kind of like if you were telling a story and you were getting to the end and you're like, and oh, by the way, here's this other fascinating thing. Your audience is going to be like, what? Where did that come from? So again, no new information in a conclusion ever. So restated thesis, it's exactly what it sounds like. You take your thesis statement from your introductory paragraph and you rewrite it to remind your readers of your position on the topic as well as your main points. It's just restating the thesis. In theory, if you're super lazy, you copy and paste the exact same sentence and you put it right there as the first sentence of your conclusion. However, I would suggest that you at least flip it. Maybe put your main points first, followed by your topic and position. So instead of I love dogs because of A, B, and C, you might write A, B, and C are the reasons why I love dogs, period. Restating your thesis. Next up is your challenge. This usually is going to be anywhere between 2 to 4 sentences. And this is where you leave your reader with either an interesting question, a quotation, a vivid image, a call for action, a suggestion. And it might also explain how your thesis is relevant to our lives and society, the significance. But basically, at the end of the day, kind of like a hook invites you into an essay as your first sentence or your first sentences of an essay. Your challenge is to get your reader to continue thinking about your paper when they're done. So those first couple sentences of the essay, you hook them in. The last couple of sentences of the essay, you challenge your reader to keep thinking. And you can do that with, again, questions, quotations, images, calls for actions, etc. Really solid. I think the one I probably use when I write most often is the idea of the significance. How am I going to, again, prove to my reader that this is a very significant topic and position and that it matters? So I want to actually show you an example conclusion paragraph that I created for the model essay that I'm doing based on the 8th grade prompt for the Virginia SOL in writing, that is all about that item that is very special to you, despite the fact that it might look rather shabby. So in my essay, I decided to talk about the rosary beads that my grandfather left me. And my thesis is right there at the end of the introductory paragraph. My topic is the rosary beads. My position is that they're very special, and I have 3 reasons why as my main points. Then as a model, I went ahead and did one body paragraph about my first main point, the idea that the rosary is quite old, and that's one of the reasons it's special. I repeat my point in yellow, I illustrate my point in green, and I explain the significance of both my of both my point and my illustration in orange. As placeholders, I went through and I just put body paragraph 2, body paragraph 3, because on a full and complete essay, you would obviously have a body paragraph about your second main point and a body paragraph about your third main point. Let's take a look at my conclusion paragraph that I've drafted. So if we look at this sentence, it says, because the rosary is the oldest thing I own, the fact that it was left to me by my grandfather, and the fact that it came all the way from Ireland are all reasons that it is my most special and prized possession. So what I've done here is I've restated the thesis. If you look back here, it's the exact same ideas and exact same topic, position, and main points that I have in my introduction, the thesis at the end of my introductory paragraph. What I've done, though, is I've restated. I've just switched the words around so that I am reminding my reader of my topic, position, main points, but I'm not just copying and pasting from my introductory paragraph. What I've done is I've actually put the topic first, then I put my main points, and then I ended in my position. So you can get kind of creative in how you rearrange your thesis so long as it is grammatically standard and readable. So I'm going to go ahead, for the sake of this example, I'm going to make that Let's just go ahead and make that light blue. That's my restated thesis in light blue. Now let's look at my challenge. So what I did here is I actually kind of, again, summarized the significance. And then I also challenged my reader. And let's see how I did that. So the way that I remind my reader of the significance of what I've talked about in this essay is I state that while they might look old and beat up, they have immense personal value. And I'm even catching myself now. While they might look up, that's kind of like a pronoun that I'm not quite certain about. So I might write, while those rosary beads might look beat up, they have immense personal value. So that's, again, that's part of my challenge. I'm reminding my reader of the significance of what I'm talking about. Here's my challenge, or my call to action within my challenge. And I write, the next time you find yourself judging something only on its appearance, think of that item that you prize for reasons far beyond looks. And the reason that this is a call to action and a challenge is because, again, my goal is to get my reader still thinking about my essay and what I'm writing about after they've completed their reading. And what I've done here is I've actually invited my reader to start thinking about, what is one object that I highly prize that maybe my friends and family don't because it looks rather shabby, old, or disused. And just for the sake of my example, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make that, let's make that a nice light red. So again, this is basically what a conclusion paragraph does. It restates our thesis and then it has a challenge. And in my example, I talk about the significance and I have a call to action. If you follow this on any sort of exam style writing, you'll be in really good shape because, again, this is a formula that you can use when you're kind of on the spot, just trying to come up with an essay, perhaps under time pressure or in, again, some sort of examination setting.